Hello and welcome to our first Humans of RESN episode. Today we've got Jun, who is one of our execs from the RESN team, and he's our first guest for today. How are you doing, Jun?
I'm well, thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be the first guest on this new platform. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Awesome. So I'm just going to run through a few questions and just feel free to share your thoughts with us. So the first question is, how long have you been with RESN?
I've been a part of RESN right from the start. So I was one of the founders who started this back in 2018 when it was just 7 people who were thinking of maybe we could help some regional and rural students. And that was just about all it was. And since then, it's definitely become something a lot bigger. It's been a really long journey, I think, but getting on to 3 years now.
Wow, so from 7 people to 400 plus people in the organization, that's a huge leap. That's really, really cool. You must know RESN in and out by now because you've been here for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, and then now that it's growing so quickly, I think it's definitely beyond my capacity to keep track of everything.
Bit of a loaded question because you founded the organization, but why did you join RESN?
I got approached by Tiger, who's one of the other founders and exec members, and he decided that this would be a good idea, and I definitely agreed and jumped on board early on. And we got together in a burger joint in Melbourne and had a little meeting, and since then it has really kicked off. I just joined it because it sounded like a really good thing to do and sounded like something I could contribute to, because I'm not that good at all that much, but I'm okay at helping year 12 students. And so
okay, a bit of a humble king right here. In terms of what you contribute to RESN, what is your role exactly, and what do you like the most about it?
I'm currently the head of education, and I look after all things related to students and tutors and the educational services we provide. I think the best thing about it is that we get to work directly with students. I don't get to ever lose sight of why we're actually doing this, which is to help students and support them and see what we can do to make a difference. But I also really like our team. I think our team's worked really well. It's got a really solid dynamic of actually making friends in the team while still getting lots done. And that's probably the thing that keeps me going each week.
I mean, it makes sense that the education team plays a huge role in an online, tutoring service. So that's really cool that you do that. In terms of who you are outside of RESN though, so do you study, do you work, what hobbies do you have, that sort of thing?
I'm a final year med student at Monash, and I'm on track to have a really long path of training as a junior doctor and then as a less junior doctor, and we'll see where it goes. Aside from that, I work as a private tutor, filling in any spare time, trying to still be in year 12 apparently. And then anything else, I guess I play a bit of sport, watch plenty of sport, footy, cricket, tennis, whatever it is. And that pretty much is it at the moment.
That's really cool. So you're just pretty much donating your talent, I guess, in more ways than one. That's very cool. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite RESN service and why?
My favorite, because I've worked with it so long, it's RESN Help, the original question and answer service. And it's built on that fantastic platform that I saw being made from scratch by Lockie, which I think is definitely a real RESN treasure. These online coffee chats that we're trying to plan, it's very early days and we won't see it till later on. But a bit of mentoring type help for students, I think, is on the way eventually. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that go ahead too.
Oh, that's so good to hear. I didn't know that was happening. I feel especially, with lockdown still happening in Victoria, unfortunately, I feel it's just another way to keep in contact with the kids and just make sure that they're all connected. So that's really good to hear. Okay, 2 more questions. What is one funky fact about you?
It's not that funky. but I'm really good at getting lost on bushes and hikes.
How so?
I once took
Give us an
a
example.
group of year sevens as a year 10 camp leader and got them to the spot for lunch at about 4:30, having done the whole hike and back because we just couldn't find our way.
True. I'm sure they resent you till this very day. Okay, final question. What is your favorite part about resin?
I think it's the people that I'm working with. I think the mission's important and that's why we're doing it. But my personal favorite part is just meeting and getting to know. So not just meeting from a social sense, but because we're working on projects together, the social and professional kind of crossover means that you get to form these relationships that you feel like are more lasting than like people you meet at uni or people you meet at a party or whatever. So I think that component's probably my favorite.
Oh, that's so awesome. I feel like it's so important to have those close-knit connections that you can build on together. So that's really great. Thanks for participating in the first episode of this series. I appreciated hearing your thoughts, and I feel like everyone who's sort of in the resin community will also appreciate this. And special thanks to everyone watching. We'll be back next week with an episode for Humans of RESN. Bye!